Hi there everybody, Andy here from Stockdale and Lego. Thanks ever so much for joining our YouTube channel. Today's episode we're going to be talking about the big question, and that of course is pricing your property. Now this is really one of the key topics that can give agents in the industry in general a really bad rap. What I want to talk about today is making sure that you're aware of the difference between the price that you as the homeowner potentially have your home at and the price that a number of agents need to base their price around. Okay, so and it all boils down to a very simple matchup of emotional pricing versus logical pricing. Okay. Now, with emotional pricing, you as the homeowner, you have every single right. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing or a problem, but you have every single right to believe that your home is worth however much you believe your home to be worth, okay? But what you've got to bear in mind is that your decision will be based not just on things that you've seen and prices that you've seen and reports that you've heard on the news and all that sort of stuff. It will really be based on what's actually happening in the home. Now, first part of that is obviously the situation. So whether it's a unfortunate separation, whether it's a case of being retrenched or moving interstate or anything like that. Obviously, the costs involved in any sort of situation, they will absolutely play a part in how much you believe your property is worth, because you want to make sure that your property gets you the money that you need in order to make your situation come to pass. Obviously, it can also be based on the house that you want, and a lot of people do tend to do this, whether they know it or not. If, for example, you're looking at doing an upgrade, you will naturally want the price of your home to pretty much fund the one that you're moving to. Now, if you think about it in that type of scenario, obviously there's not much logic to that, because you can't expect a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom property to be going for the same amount of money or close to the same amount of money as a 4-bed, 2-bath, for example, okay? But naturally we are influenced as human beings by the goals, by the targets that we're trying to achieve. Obviously, the other one is the fact that your home is by far and away the best home on the street. You've seen others on the market, but yours is much better. And of course, it is more than natural to be thinking that sort of thought as well. And that obviously influences that emotional price that little bit further. And then, of course, the key line that a lot of us tend to hear, or a lot of us agents tend to hear, is the fact that you paid X amount of dollars for it 3 years ago, and therefore it must be worth however much more now. Now, all of those are absolutely fair enough. You know, I'm not here to say to you that whatever you're thinking is wrong of you to think that. Far from it. At the end of the day, we are all human beings. I've been there and done that myself, and I'm sure I'll do it again. But what you've got to bear in mind is that the purchasers that are coming in towards your home and are potentially looking at buying your home won't know any of these points that I've just made, nor will they care, and nor should they care, because at the end of the day, they have their own situation, they have their own aspirations in terms of what it is that they want to get out of a home and whatnot. And chances are they've probably sold theirs for X amount of dollars, therefore yours is only worth Y as opposed to what you believe yours is worth there anyway. So what you've got to bear in mind is the people coming into this scenario, i.e. the purchasers, they don't care about any of that, and all they're looking at is the cold hard facts and wanting to make sure that they do get the best deal for their situation. Now, the logical price that the agents should be coming in with needs to be based on cold hard facts and evidence of what the market's brought. So things like comparable sales, the current competition that's out there on the market and influencing purchases in the area, and the current market conditions. Now, like I said in a previous episode, you've got the buyer's market, the seller's market, and a neutral market. So that is obviously going to play a part in how the agent prices your most valuable asset as well. Now, naturally, a lot of the time, and the majority of the time, there is going to be a difference between that emotional price and the logical price that the agent has quoted you. But what you've got to do as a team is work out how you're going to get the best outcome for you as the homeowner without wasting your time or inflating your tires or giving you absolute false expectations when it comes to your property price. Now, I've put a note on here that with the agent's price, there's absolutely no harm in showing a little bit of ambition if you're in a seller's market, for example, and that's really one of the things that you might want to be looking for is an agent that's wanting to show a little bit of ambition. But you've got to be very careful, because there is a fine line between showing ambition and showing a little bit of false hope. Okay, now this is one of the big things that causes a lot of drama and gives agents a really bad rap, is the fact that a lot of them will have to resort to telling you what you want to hear as opposed to what you need to hear in order to win your business. Okay, so one really crucial thing that you need to be looking out for are the agents that are anchored by logic. Okay, so they have evidence to suggest that the property is worth between X and Y. However, you might want to be looking also for the agent that just shows that hint of ambition and that gives you an opportunity via a correct strategy or a bit more of a dynamic sort of approach to proceedings as to how you might be able to push that limit a little bit further and go that little bit further than what logic would suggest. So really tough topic, this one, and I know it causes debate all the time. Obviously, there are agents that will play on ignorance and skew these facts and figures to try and get quick sales and all that sort of stuff. And in a lot of cases, the REIV, the Real Estate